Hello and welcome to the second part of this three-part series on the NFL Draft. Um, this is going to be picks number 11 through 20. It gets interesting here. I feel like this may not be very accurate, but it's my best effort. It's the first time I've ever done a draft prediction, so I'm gonna jump right into this. I'm really excited about this. I love doing these videos. I'm glad I decided to stick with the channel through the off season and just continue to do stuff. So let's get on to this right away. The number 11 pick in the draft, the Miami Dolphins. Their needs are offensive guard, inside linebacker, and a running back. Now, the offensive guard, I feel like the talent is there, the pool is there, but I feel like they may lean more towards the defensive side on the Dolphins. Their offensive line was okay, but defense they need some help. I have them taking Rashaan Evans out of the inside linebacker out of Alabama. I feel like you can't go wrong with a D lineman or back or linebacker out of Alabama, not under Nick Saban. Like he specializes in getting the top talent at that position. So I feel like he is a great pick for this team. Might give them that leadership on the field that they seem to be missing on defense. Number 12 pick in the draft of this year is the Cincinnati Bengals. Their needs list offensive line and a linebacker, and they also listed on several sites I saw a quarterback, which I think is ridiculous. Why are you going to move away from Andy Dalton? You have other needs to address. Don't play the quarterback lottery, and I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals intend to. So, with that being said, I think they're going to take Roquan Smith. I probably said his name wrong, and I apologize to him. I'm sorry, dude. My bad. But he is the outside linebacker / inside linebacker from Georgia. Again, another SEC team with a backer, a linebacker, or a defensive line. You almost can't go wrong if they're coming out in the draft. I feel like he's a good fit for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I feel like he could give them a little boost in that midfield range, that not quite a cornerback, not quite a lineman area, the linebacker area, obviously. But I feel like he gives a boost through the whole area for them. Next is the 13th pick for the Washington Redskins. Their needs are listed as linebacker, defensive line, and safety. I feel like Washington might be addressing their defensive needs first in this draft, which makes it a fourth straight defensive player picked. After only had 2 in the top 10, started the next section of the 11 through 20 with 3 straight defensive picks. I feel that they're going to address their defensive line position issues. And I think there's a guy they're going to look at. It's probably going to be Vita Vea out of, or Vita Vea. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name. It's VEA. The defensive tackle out of Washington. I feel like he could bring a little foundation to that offensive line, just a little brick wall situation for them. So I feel like it could be very beneficial for them. The number 14 pick, the Green Bay Packers, are looking at another wide receiver, potentially a cornerback, offensive lineman. There's a lot up in the air. These guys are one of the hardest teams to pick for. Because you're not sure what's going to happen. There's this whole situation with Aaron Rodgers. Are they going to keep him on the roster? Do they have to release him? Does he even want to stay? Then they might lose Jordy Nelson. It creates a whole lot of issues. But I think they address defense first. They need help in that backfield, seriously. So I think they're going to go for Carlton Davis, the cornerback out of Auburn. I feel like he's a solid cornerback. He's had some good games, some great games. Been played pretty evenly through his whole career too. So I feel like he could come out and really give them that solid footing in the backfield. Next is number 15, the Arizona Cardinals. Their needs are listed as an offensive lineman, a wide receiver, and a quarterback. I feel like the quarterback is an actual good need for them. Maybe Palmer's not completely out yet, but he's on his way. He's got like 1, maybe 2 seasons max, I think, left in him if he doesn't walk away already. He may have. I don't remember who's walked away yet. Point remains, they need a quarterback soon. And I went back and forth on this because there were a couple of quarterbacks, and there were actually like 3 quarterbacks in this draft I thought might fit them. I've got Arizona taking Sam Darnold, the quarterback out of USC. Seems like a weird pick, being the second quarterback to go in the draft at the 15th spot, almost halfway through the first round. But I think he fits their system. Like, he's a pocket passer, and that's what they want out there. So I feel like he could do some good out there. Number 16 overall pick, Baltimore Ravens have that one, and they are looking for a wide receiver, a tight end, or running back. And I think they're going to take a wide receiver in this position. Give Flacco a little more to throw to. They're losing a lot of their star power left and right. So I feel like wide receiver would replenish them a little bit. And I think they're going to go with Alden Tate, the wide receiver out of Florida State. I feel like he's a good pick. He's a good fit for that team. He fits the Harbaugh style of play. He's a very physical player, so I like him. Number 16, number 17 overall pick, Los Angeles Chargers need an offensive tackle, a quarterback, and a linebacker. Before I go into their pick, can we take a moment to be impressed a little with the fact that the Los Angeles Chargers started the season 0-4 and still finished in the top half of the teams? Like, that's impressive. To start so badly and then pull it out, I mean, that's impressive. Anyway, I think they addressed their offensive line issues. The quarterback, I get Phillip Rivers is on his last limbs. You're wanting to draft his replacement, and I don't disagree with that call. But I think that that's a later draft address. You don't have to do that in the first round. I think they're going to go with the offensive tackle position, and I think they're going to take Isaiah Wynn. He's listed as a tackle, guard, and a center in the draft. He's coming out of Georgia. I feel like, again, that offensive line in Georgia did wonders this season, and I feel like this pick, I've been saying that a lot, I know I feel like, but I think this pick is going to be a good pick for this team. He can fill pretty much any hole on the offensive line they might have. Excuse me. The 18th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks, need an offensive tackle, a cornerback, and an offensive guard. Now, the cornerback, I get it. You're worried that Richard Sherman might not come back. You got a lot of worries there on defense, but a lot of worries are people leaving, not positions not being good enough. Obviously, it's the Seahawks we're talking about here. I think they address their offensive line issues first, and I think they go with the offensive tackle position. And I think there's a few players available that might be a good fit. I think they may take Orlando Brown, the offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Reason being, Oklahoma has always been a pass-happy team while this guy's been there. He's played with Mayfield for his entire career, pretty much. And he was an offensive tackle in a pass-oriented situation, which is where the Seahawks are. Their pass game is what they live and die by. They live and die by their quarterback. So if he gets injured, you need to protect him. So I think that this is a good fit. The 19th overall pick in the draft, the Dallas Cowboys are looking for either a tight end, defensive tackle, or a cornerback. Tight end, they're maybe looking to replace Witten. Witten maybe towards the end of his career already. So, I mean, I understand that one. Again, I don't think tight ends are high necessity to address in the first round. I think I only have one tight end being drafted in the entire first round, so we'll see. But with the Dallas Cowboys, I have them taking Daron Payne, the defensive tackle out of Alabama. Again, as I already addressed earlier in the video, you almost can't go wrong with a defensive lineman out of Alabama. So here we go. I got him going to the Dallas Cowboys, maybe giving that defensive line a little bit of a boost as they prepare to face off against a division that looks to be back on the rise to the quote top spot in the NFC. And I'm not just saying that because they have the Super Bowl champion. I'm saying that because the Eagles won it this year, but Dallas won it the year before. Washington won it the year before. All of them had 10-win or more seasons. The last two had 13-3 seasons. And I feel like the Giants have potential to come back into the mix. You got potential next year for this division to have 3 teams in the playoffs, and that's impressive. And last for this video, the Detroit Lions at the 20th overall pick. They need a defensive end, they need an offensive guard, they need a linebacker. So, I think they address defensive line needs first. And Marcus Davenport, the defensive end out of the University of Texas San Antonio. He's had a great career. I feel like he could fit in well with their scheme. He's a good player, and I just feel like they need that end rusher who can get pressure on the quarterback. So, I feel like that's a good pick for them, and that will do it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you like what I'm doing, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you got anything that you want to add to any of these, don't forget to comment in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video.